Example 8. Solving a quadratic by completing the square. Solve the quadratic equation by completing the square x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. So the first step is we're rewriting what the equation states. And then the first thing we want to do is move the constant term to the right side of the equal sign and isolate the variable terms. So we have x squared minus 3x, leaving this blank, which is equal to 5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to complete the square by adding n to both sides. So n is going to equal 1/2 of b and then squaring it. So that's going to equal 1/2. Well, b is -3, so 1/2 of -3 squared. We get -1/2 times -3 is -3 over 2. When we square it, we get positive 9 over 4. So then what do we plug in for n? We get 9/4. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 9/4, which is equal to 5 plus 9/4. Now we have x minus 3 over 2 squared, which is equal to 5 plus 9/4. Now recall here that what do we have to square to get 9/4? Well, it was minus 3 over 2. So we have x minus 3 over 2 squared equals 5 plus 9/4. Step 6, we need to add these fractions together by finding a common denominator. Well, the common denominator is 4, so 5 is the same thing as 20 over 4 plus 9 over 4. When we add them together, it gives us 29 over 4. So we have x minus 3/2 squared equals 29 over 4. Now we need to take the square root of both sides. To take the square root of both sides, what we have left here is x minus 3 over 2. And that's equal to plus or minus the square root of 29 over the square root of 4. So we get x minus 3 over 2, which is equal to plus or minus the square root of 9 over 2, since the square root of 4 is 2. Then we need to add 3/2 to both sides. So we get x, which is equal to 3 over 2, plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. And then we can rewrite this now where they share the denominator of 2. So x is going to equal 3 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. So we have two solutions. 3 minus the square root of 29 over 2, and 3 plus the square root of 29 over 2. Now let's verify what these solutions are. So we have 3 minus the square root of 29, and divide that by 2, and we get negative 1.93 rounded to 3 decimal places. And then we have 3 plus the square root of 29, and then divide that by 2, and that gives us 4.193.